I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
We are the Super Media Bros podcast, and we are founding members of the OddPods Media Network.
Hi, I'm Shannon.
I'm Jamie.
We're Married with Television, marriedwithtv.com. We are a couple of Hollywood normies on the outskirts of the film and TV industry, and we talk about our favorite TV shows, music, and movies, and sometimes they talk back to us.
Sometimes they do.
Our podcast is Married with Television, one word, on Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, and SoundCloud.
Possibly Amazon soon. And we are a proud member of the OddPods Media Network.
Married with TV!
MarriedWithTV.com.
Break a leg, Allison.
Knife culture returns yet again.
Do we have permits for this episode?
Well, some of them.
You ready to take a stab at this?
What's the body count again?
There were so many kills. So many.
So many thrills.
So many spills.
But what's the deal about all these kills, thrills, and spills? It's Mike Myers.
Not the love guru.
No, the figure, the shadow, the darkness, the shape.
Welcome to episode 195 of the Super Media Bros podcast, Spooky Media Bros 2021. I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
There's no need to preface this with anything other than just saying, this is the Halloween Kills review.
And for your sake, spoilers. I know some of y'all haven't watched yet. So if you haven't, stop, go watch it, and then come back. And then we'll probably piss you off. Because I'm pretty sure we're going to piss a lot of people off with our opinions.
It's okay. That's why they're opinions.
And that's why we're here.
So Halloween Kills. Obviously, the middle chapter of the David Gordon Green sequel trilogy, which we loved Halloween 2018.
Definitely.
We obviously love the original.
There's just so much to love about this series of films. Of course, a couple of them are like,
Yeah, we're not going to speak about Resurrection.
Or H2O.
No, not at all.
But anyway, yeah. 2018, great film. Leads into Halloween Kills literally right where it ended.
Which I was really happy to see happen. I mean, again, I knew it was going to be like a literal direct sequel picking up right where the first movie leaves off. And I really feel like if you watched both of these back to back in one sitting, I feel like a lot of the people that complained about this movie would probably appreciate it a little more if like a double feature. Because I mean, again, it's not going to have any resolution. It's a middle chapter.
Right. But it basically starts where the Strodes are being driven off away from the fire. And obviously you hear Laurie just screaming, "No, let it burn."
Like it picks up where Dr. Sartain was like stabbed and shit. And then Frank Hawkins, like we thought he died. But no, he's alive because he's found and taken into a hospital. But like I think the coolest part about this beginning piece is like the flashback from 40 years earlier whenever he's a younger deputy, because I just want to come right out of the gate and say this. The way that this was shot, it felt very 70s. It was very authentic looking. It looked like a 1970s film.
It's almost like they cut it from the original movie and put it in here. Like that's how close it was to it. But it gives you basically the little backstory about how Hawkins encountered Michael with his partner. His partner got pretty much strangled by Michael, and Hawkins shot his partner by accident because he was hoping to hit Michael. And then the whole scenario where it's like he's living with regret the entire time.
Right. Can we talk about the fact that the film's art director, Tom Jones Jr., was a very, very, shall we say, long-lost twin of Donald Pleasance? Because goddamn, the way they did Sam Loomis in this was fucking just chef's kiss.
Yeah, especially when he's like, "Did he kill it again?"
Yeah. It was almost uncanny.
Yeah.
It's like, did you guys dig his corpse up and just fucking slap CG on him?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they've been doing that with a lot of people.
Yeah, no shit.
What I found interesting about how Hawkins got found was Cameron was walking away from the party and he was trying to get a hold of Allison and he just saw Hawkins sitting there on the ground. He put pressure on the neck wound and he suddenly came about like out of nowhere. It's like, that's the magical button, is just pushing his neck.
Just touch his neck.
Yeah. But yeah, he ends up going to the hospital and we get the shot where Michael is, nowhere to be found in the house, basically. He's not in the basement like the last film showed. And the first responders show up.
Yeah.
Trying to contain this fire.
Call the fire brigade.
Trying to. And one lonely soldier walks in there and just collapses into the basement.
Oh, he eats total shit, dude. Like he looks like whenever Mankind gets fucking or Mick Foley gets choke slammed through anything from a very tall height. In fact, he took that fall like when he went through the top of the cage at Hell in the Cell in King of the Ring 98. He just falls.
Except he didn't have a life alert like this firefighter did.
He definitely fucking had a life alert. He also had a death alert.
Yeah. I'm about to die.
Dude, because I think one thing everybody forgot about, because everyone's like, well, how the fuck did he survive? Well, Michael Myers just said, you know what, I'm going to hide in this little roll-up door where they keep the guns because it's fire retardant. So he's just like, oh, I'm going to fucking hide in here, and then I'm just going to raise this motherfucker up, and I'm just going to kill.
People go, oh, Michael Myers, he's just a brutal, animalistic killer. Oh, he's evolving.
Yeah, he's like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemike.
Gotta kill them all.
I mean, he does.
Yeah. So he grabs one of those fireman pikes from that guy on the floor and he just slams one end into this fucker's mask. Like repeatedly. Like you just see chunks of his face sticking out of the mask. Like that's how brutal it was.
It was like a bowl of soup
Yeah.
when he was done with it.
It was like some meaty chowder.
He's like, look at my chili cook-off contest finalist.
That's probably why he's so pissed off. He didn't win the chili cook-off
He didn't.
contest.
He was like, I roasted it on an open fire and everything.
Now I'm going to kill all of Haddonfield.
Right, for disqualifying me.
What is it made out of, Michael? People.
He should probably go join the fucking Sawyer clan in Texas Chainsaw 2 for that chili cook-off contest.
Yep.
But that's another story.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael eventually he kills another firefighter on the inside, and then just probably one of the coolest looking shots in this movie is him walking out of the front door while the house is just ablaze and some water coming down from them trying to put the shit out.
God, yes.
And he just picks that pike up and holds it and looks. Now, here's the thing. I get these firefighters looking at him, and they obviously see, okay, there's this really fucked up looking dude holding one of our dude's pikes. You have firefighters pulling their axes out. You got the one guy with the buzzsaw. Then you have the one jackass who's like, I got a water hose.
This thing was not even full pressure. I think it just had like a trickle spray or some shit. He like you said earlier, it just showered the soot and blood off of his body.
Dude, he basically just like super soakered him.
And he just jabs the fucking pike, like the crowbar end of it, into his fucking face. And you see camera like point of view, just that fucking drop, just pow.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And then he proceeds to murder every single fucking first responder. Like, it's not even fucking funny.
I mean, it kind of is, but...
Yeah, it is. I mean, one of my favorite parts is whenever he's, like, grabbing one of the guys by the fucking sternum, sticking it up in the air, holding this motherfucker, and he just drops him. Like, he's nothing. This dude is, like, decked out, 80 to 100 pounds of gear on top of his normal body weight, and Mike just picks him up like it's nothing.
That motherfucker probably actually spent those years in prison deadlifting at the fucking yard when nobody was looking. Like, nobody wanted to fuck with him because he's Michael Myers, but when everybody was away, he's like, I'm gonna get my fucking swole on.
He's deadlifting the dead.
He is. That's a deadlift right there.
Put another body on there.
Put him in the bag.
But yeah, and then home dude with the freaking saw, he tried so hard.
Yeah, but then in the end, it didn't really matter.
He did not see that coming.
No, he didn't.
He might have saw it coming.
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
But yeah, he
was cutting up too much.
He overpowered him and just twisted that blade right into his fucking head. And I was like, ah, sweet bliss.
Sweet, beautiful, bloody bliss. Cut to Tommy Doyle as an adult, played by Anthony Michael Hall. Very good casting choice, but I'm going to just cut to the chase right now. And some of you out there may be like, why'd you say that? But as I say this, you'll probably be like, I can't unhear that or unsee that. This motherfucker, at several points in this film, comes off like Biff from Back to the Future. Don't ask me why. It's just a vibe that I got. He has that, like, I don't know. There's just something about it. That's what it reminds me of.
It's like the same attitude, the same physical look to him, I guess, to a degree. So, yeah, he kind of does.
You're dead. You're dead, Michael McFly.
Yep.
Well, that's the other thing, too. Everybody in this movie said, like, he needs to die tonight. I gotta be the one to do it. Dude, there's a lot of claims to this motherfucker. That's where they're at the bar. They're, like, celebrating the 40th anniversary of him going to fucking prison.
That's a weird thing to celebrate.
I mean, it mostly to do with the victim memories, like the memories of the victims and shit. And there's like Marion Chambers, Lindsay Wallace, which those two actresses are the same people that played them in the original, which I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lonnie, which in the flashback, I forgot to mention Lonnie, like they show him encountering Michael in 78. And then they were talking about the story, like Tommy gets on stage and he's telling the story about the boogeyman and all this other shit. And it's like, setting the stage kind of nice. You can tell the dude's still like fucking obsessed with that night that it happened.
I mean, it's pretty much like trauma and PTSD at this point. I mean, you kind of can't get over the fact that it happened.
Right. And plus, it's a small town. And we know how that goes.
It's smaller now.
Shit, no shit. Population, what the fuck?
Yeah. But yeah, we also find out that there's 2 prisoners that broke out from the penitentiary.
Oh, yeah, the news flash on TV?
Yeah.
Yep.
One of them's obviously Michael. We know that. But there's another guy who comes in. He's like this balding, psychotic-looking Ben Franklin motherfucker with the hair going down the sides. And he's wandering around somewhere. We don't know where the fuck this dude is. But we get to a point where this couple dressed up as a nurse and doctor, which is funny because later on they mentioned that the husband, who is the doctor costume, he's actually the nurse. And the wife is dressed up as a nurse. She's actually the doctor.
Right.
Which is kind of funny. But they end up leaving. And they notice that the car that they drove in, after the wife goes to the car, somebody attacked her. So she goes in to there and they're like, hey, Michael Myers is in my car. He almost attacked me. So what happens? Tommy just grabs the fucking bat. Old Huckleberry.
Yeah, I'll be your Huckleberry.
And like 5 or 6 people walk outside and they're like, okay, Mike, let's do this.
Kind of how we used to do in the very beginning of this fucking podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Mike.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this.
Punch out.
But anyway, yeah, so he goes in a fucking car and the radio starts kind of shifting and he's like, come on, Michael. And he just starts beating the fucking car. Well, it speeds off and it crashes. Come to find out, it's the dude that escaped. It's not Michael, obviously, but it's the other guy that escaped from prison with him.
It's crazy Ben Franklin.
It is crazy Ben Franklin. So at this point, Lonnie's son Cameron calls him and he's like, I need you to come get me because there's a cop that got fucking stabbed and all this other bullshit. Well, while he's going to pick his kid up, Tommy starts gathering citizens to like hunt Michael down before he can kill anybody else. He's like, we've got to fucking stop this tonight. Meanwhile, at the goddamn hospital, the Strodes are all there.
And Lori is getting stitched up, trying to be. Like, she literally had a fucking knife wound all the way to like the bottom of her waist, all the way up to her fucking ribs. Yeah, so they're trying to put her back together.
Yeah, and something that I get why Karen did this, but at the same time, it's like, oof, like, you know, Lori's under the assumption they killed him. However, when the police are interviewing Allison and Karen, they are both told that Michael is still alive and he escaped and murdered all these motherfuckers. Well, Karen decides to not fucking tell Lori, which I'm like, that's a total dick move. Again, I get it, but still. And I believe this is where Cameron shows up and this is where like more gathering of people starts to happen.
Yeah, this is where the panic is starting to get more and more. Because, like I said, Tommy, he's going through all of Haddonfield trying to gather people willing to end this.
Quote, I need people that are not afraid to get their hands dirty.
And if you don't, go home.
Suck my dick. I need people to get dirty like Mike Rowe.
Dirty jobs.
And somebody's got to do it.
Yep.
And I'm going to be the one to do it. You know, for the umpteenth time.
It seems like everybody said that through this film.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, literally everybody's like, I have to be the one to do it. Evil dies tonight. It ends tonight. Tonight's the night that we fight.
Yeah, I think that was one of our biggest annoyances of this film was just the fact that they repeated that fucking chant all throughout the fucking film.
Yeah. I mean, it's on the poster and everything.
We get it. Evil dies tonight. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Yeah, so they all gather around Lonnie's vehicle. And he pulls out a tackle box just full of fucking guns.
Okay, that shit was funny.
Yeah. And then Tommy's like, do you have permits for all these? And he's like, some of them.
Nice little comic relief moment. Like, they didn't double down on the comedy as much as they did in the first one, which I kind of liked because they took it a little more like direct.
Yeah.
But still, like you need in a movie like this, you kind of need little breaks like that because the pacing does not let up. That's one thing I did like about this one.
No, it didn't.
Well, we get introduced to this couple, one of them being fucking Michael McDonald from goddamn Mad TV, Stewart. And they are the fucking funniest. Like, not like out of the way comedic, but I loved their interactions and all the shit. Like, every scene that they were in, I loved it so much. And then the three little bastards. I'm talking about the Halloween 3, which was a nice, again, they were in the first one, or like the first sequel. But I really enjoyed all the Easter eggs and throwbacks to the other films in this franchise. This one being Season of the Witch.
Yep.
Which, believe it or not, for a lot of you out there, ranks very high in our Halloween ranking. So they prank this couple. Those poor bastards. It turns out this couple is actually living in the Myers house, which again is integral to the plot. So the kids steal a bowl of candy from them and they fuck off because the two guys like scare the shit out of them with the Michael Myers story and they fuck off somewhere. Well, where they fuck off to is this playground because at some point, Lindsay, Marion, Vanessa, and Marcus, the nurse couple, they're all piled into this SUV and they come across these kids.
And they're like, what the fuck are they doing? They need to be indoors. So Lindsay goes out there and she's like, what are you kids doing? It's Halloween. We're just fucking around, basically. And then the girl keeps saying, oh, there's some man who's being a pervert. He's playing peekaboo. And she's like, where? Oh, over there. Hi. And there's Michael behind the SUV. I'm like, uh-oh.
And then the slow pan where he's holding the skull mask, which is obviously from one of the kids, and there's blood coming off of it. He has moited the skeleton kid. And then this next sequence has a couple of really one very graphically brutal stab, and the other one being one of the coolest fucking kills I have ever seen in a movie.
See, we're going to have to pinpoint every cool kill in this film. So this is definitely two of them. One of them for sure. The other one, it's a little bit lower in the ranking. But yeah, so Mike is literally on top of the SUV while the rest of the group is in the car, just panicking. Marion has a fucking little revolver and she's shooting. And I kid you not, she shoots out almost every window in the fucking car.
And then locks the doors.
And locks the doors.
Like that's going to make a difference.
Bitch, you literally just gave him access to y'all, which he did because he grabs her by the hair and they pull her in so hard that he rips part of her hair off her scalp.
She's like, well, there goes that Bosley money.
She's going to need that GLA or GLH. I'm sorry, not GLA. Good looking hair.
That's right.
But yeah, so Michael finally gets on the driver's side of the car and she's like, what was the line?
She goes, this is for Dr. Loomis. And she fucking tries to shoot him and she Elmer Fudd's the fuck out of herself. No more bullets. And she fucking gets stabbed and she's just like, ah, and he's stabbing the fuck out of her, right in the chest.
Yeah, homegirl gets out and she runs off for a second.
Mark is his stupid ass.
Yeah, he tries to strangle him with a fucking stethoscope and Mike just stabs this fucker in the eye, just slick as hell.
Right up into the brain.
And he is just twitching, oh my God. But, bruh, okay. This kill right here, I don't care what y'all say. This is a fucking fantastic kill. So, homegirl has this fucking Desert Eagle handgun. It's a fucking huge ass handgun. And she's clipping this car, trying to shoot Michael, right? And he looks at this bitch just what the hell are you shooting at?
Dude, that frame where the window gets shot out, and it's just a short frame if you catch it for a split second. He's looking out the window like, bitch.
But she gets close enough to where she could have gotten a headshot off of him, He kicks the damn door open, hits the gun barrel, and it flips around to her head and shoots herself. Because she was literally adrenaline rush shooting the damn car. And right before she pulled the trigger again, that damn door just twisted that gun right back at her.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. I'm sorry. That was a beautiful fucking kill.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking great.
Like I told y'all, he's evolving. Like he knows how to fuck with people in weird ways, and they're beautiful. But also, we forgot to point out the old couple.
Yeah, okay, so I love it because they are sitting there and one of them is just like, oh yeah, that smells like Lucky Strikes or whatever the fuck it is. And he's or she's like, that's Laurie Strode's house. And he's just like, oh yeah, well that woman lives in like some shit about living like flammable or some crap like that. And she's just like, don't talk shit about her. She'll fuck you up. Meanwhile, they're flying a drone in the house, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, these people are like in their 50s, 60s, I would assume.
Oh, absolutely. Late 60s at best. But they fly this drone into the bathroom and it hits the wall and falls down. And they're just like, well, shit. So he goes to grab the controller and fly it back. Well, it just gets tossed back into the room and they're just like, what the fuck? So he walks over and he flips the bathroom light on and Michael is there and he just reaches up real fast, like doing some disco dance move, and he just like smashes the light back out. And that dude is like, holy shit. And he locks that door and then locks an outside door. And she's like, what? And he's like, some dude's in our house with a monster mask on.
She's like, what do you do? It's like, what do you mean? What do we do? Call the cops.
These kills were, oh my God. So he goes to walk away, but Michael just reaches through the window from the outside and proceeds to smash his head against the wall, pulls him backwards and then down like where it slices the left part of his neck on some of the broken window pane. He drags him through it. Then old girl's like locking the doors.
Again, why? Just get the fuck out.
Yeah, well, he comes in and she's got this knife and he just kind of looks at her like, huh, all right. So he goes over to the kitchen area and he grabs this fluorescent light out of its, spot, and he just looks at her and he breaks it in half and he just walks up to her and just stabs her right in the fucking neck with the broken end of this thing. And you can see it break a little as he's doing it, but he just stabs right into her neck. And the fucked up part about this scene is that she doesn't die immediately. Like she's just in shock. So she fucking falls over where she's in this kind of weird resting position. And the dude is hollering out for her and he's fucking choking on his blood. Well, he gets dragged off, flopped down on the island table in the kitchen. And there's a slow pan of where she can't really do anything other than just tears trailing down her eyes, watching her dude just become a literal fucking knife pincushion.
Yeah, Mike was having fun with this one because he would just grab a knife off the fucking wall and just one by one.
It was like Thor. Another!
But God damn it. He grabs one knife. He's like, this is the one.
Wait, that's not good enough. This is the one.
This is the one.
This is the Excalibur. Fucking God damn.
Excalibur.
Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, so like I said, Tommy gathers as many people as possible, gets groups together. The hospital that everybody's at is panicking. They're trying to figure out what to do. There's a lockdown. And Tommy's like, I'm here to protect Laurie, so I'm going to go find Michael. Well, come to find out, it was Lindsay. Okay, we forgot this one part. So Lindsay was the only survivor out of that whole scenario at the playground, minus the kid. Well, the two kids, I should say. And she's hiding under a bridge where this little river is going. And you just see Michael walking on the bridge. You can hear the breathing. And Lindsay is trying so fucking hard to hold in her scream. And Mike is just looking like, where the fuck are you, bitch? I can hear you. I can smell you.
He's like, what'd that smell like?
Yeah.
Unforgivable.
But he walks away, does his normal business. Well, Tommy and the group, it was Tommy, Lonnie, Allison, and Cameron. They go back to the park and they notice that something has happened here. And we get probably one of the, again, best references of the film for me. The three victims from the SUV all have a mask from a Season of the Witch. The couple has the skull mask and the pumpkin mask, and they're on the carousel just spinning slowly. And they find Marion hung up on the swing set with the witch mask.
Literal marionette.
Yeah. And I'm just like, chef's kiss. Like, this is amazing.
This is what we live for.
Yeah.
This is the quality content that we live for.
But they find Lindsay and she's panicking, like, I saw Michael. He's about to go blah, 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 whatever. Kill. Same thing again. And we go back to the Johns, and ironically enough, they hear knocking on the doors, right? They're like, these fucking kids, they won't stop. So Big John, which they're both named John, but the one in the boxers is Big John. Stewart is Little John. Yeah! And he walks out with a freaking golf club, and he's like, want to fuck these kids up. It's like, next time I'm going to use this pitchfork on y'all. Well, Little John's like looking at the back door, and he's telling Big John, dude, somebody's in our house, and it's not a kid.
What kind of candy did you get for trick-or-treating?
Well, there's no joy in my almonds.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I got a lot of snickering.
Damn.
Seems like nobody's going to lay a finger on my Butterfinger this Halloween season.
Go from a bite-sized candy bar to a king-size candy bar and join 2 million men worldwide by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code SUPER.
Manscaped is here to save the day and make sure you're smelling fresh with their new refined body wash. Fellas, the ladies love their signature scent, and it will help scare away those vampires.
Unlock your confidence with the Performance Package 4.0. Inside, you'll find the holy grail of men's grooming items. They've made it easy for you to upgrade your grooming routine.
It's a full moon out, and the werewolf in your pants is howling. It's time to tackle that problem with the Lawnmower 4.0. Their finely tuned pube products feature a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is easily the greatest ball trimmer on the planet. Did we mention this is waterproof? The trimmer is an excellent shower essential.
The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker, a total game changer to your men's hygiene arsenal.
The Weed Whacker is a nose and ear hair trimmer that provides proprietary skin-safe technology that helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those holes.
Just like those jack-o'-lantern holes. Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulation. Their Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner will make sure your pumpkins stay fresh. Trust me when I say this, fellas, your balls will thank you.
Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0. The Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Bring your comfort and boxers to another level.
If you're looking like Wolverine and haven't cut your nails recently, be sure to look into the Shears 2.0 Nail Kit.
They have a bunch of other life-changing products on their website, so be sure to check it out and get 20% off plus free shipping with our code SUPER at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with our code SUPER at manscaped.com.
Say trick or treat to your beautiful new Halloweenie with Manscaped.
Heh, weenie.
So Big John drops the fucking golf club, takes all of his like jewelry and shit off of his arms and shit.
Right, he's like, hold my fucking earrings, bitch.
He grabs the freaking like chartreuse knife, like this little bitty fucking blade, as his weapon of choice.
You ever see those little Japanese YouTube channels where they have like the miniature cooking sets? It was probably that big. It was like a Mighty Max size fucking knife.
It was like a paring knife.
Yeah.
That don't make no damn sense. You had a fucking like 9-iron or a wedge that could have done way more damage than this fucking like 2-inch blade.
You could have opened a face with an open-faced club.
Yeah, no shit. But Little John grabs the big fucking knife, which I thought was fucking funny that their names are different from the knives they picked up.
Right, and I love how Big John's like, I got this knife. And then Little John's like, I've got this knife.
And Michael's like, I got this knife.
Yeah, no shit. No, Michael's like, I've got thumbs and you have eyeballs.
Yeah.
Because fucking hell. Yeah, he thumbs the shit out of Big John's eyeballs out of their sockets, and Little John walks in the room where Michael's sister's room was. Because there's a whole reference to where Michael Myers just wants to go home. And there's stories about how he would just stare out of his window as a child. So that's what he's doing. And so Little John alerts him, like a dumb fuck, alerts him to his presence. And he's like, Michael, you've come home. So off screen, Michael just turns around and stabs him to death.
Huh?
Yeah. Fucking kind of funny. So Lindsay winds up getting to the hospital. Meanwhile, the original Sheriff Lee Brackett, like the actor and everything, he's at the hospital as security there. So that's yet another original character. And this is the moment where Lori finds out because of Tommy that Michael's still alive, and she's kind of pissed at Karen for holding it from her, and she's trying to get up out of the bed, and like Allison had left her a knife earlier when she went with the group of people. We fight!
That's pretty much Lori's mentality.
Yeah, she's like, we fight! And at some point with all of this, Hawkins had been wheeled in as like her kind of like a bedmate because they're both sharing an ICU room. He takes responsibility for not putting it into Michael like way back in 78 because he had an opportunity to, or he stopped Loomis from shooting him in the head, basically.
Yeah, because all the cops surrounded Michael and Loomis was behind him, and they literally beat him to the ground, pulled his mask off, and Loomis had the fucking gun pointed, and Hawkins stopped him because he basically felt bad that, you know, he was still a kid on the inside. But now, 40 years later, he basically regrets letting it happen. But yeah, we go through all the minor stuff here and there, and as I stated before, the whole town of Haddonfield's in a fucking panic. They're in a mob mentality at this point.
Yeah, and Tommy, granted, he's doing it for what he feels are the right reasons, which, of course, like, they're tired of his shit. They're tired of Michael Myers' shit.
It's like you stated earlier, it's like this town is so terrified, just by his name alone creates panic.
Yeah, Michael Myers literally only has to exist to tear this town apart from the inside out. Because people that wouldn't normally be doing this shit are also turning into terrible people themselves.
Yeah.
Because when all this is going on, you know, like Laurie's trying to get ready to fight. Tommy is gathering all these people. Well, the other guy, Lance, that's the prisoner's name, the Oswald Cobblepot looking motherfucker, rolls in. And in the middle of the panic, everybody just looks over and they're like, I saw that guy on television. Oh my God, he's one of the escaped convicts. That's Michael Myers. And they fucking, like, to make a long story short, they chase him throughout this hospital. The only people that know that's not him are the Strodes. Karen tries to literally help him, and she locks him in this like hallway so that nobody can get to him. But they eventually like overcrowd the doors and bust him through. And this poor bastard, even though he's a convict, this poor bastard is so frightened that he busts out the window with a fire extinguisher and just says, fuck it, and he commits suicide, and he leaps off. It looks like maybe the 8th floor of the hospital. Y'all.
Speak it.
This dude, like, they showed the aftermath of him smacking the concrete. Every time I've ever watched a movie where a dude like flies out of a window and hits a car, like his body is intact and just the car explodes or some stupid bullshit, or they hit the ground and then it's like a little trickle of blood. No, the dude's head is splattered. His ankle is twisted around broken bone through skin. His left arm is like behind his fucking head. He's basically a manwich on the fucking ground.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the most brutal looking things I've seen in quite some time. Oh boy. And then the rest of the group feels like shit because they find out that wasn't him. And now everybody is kind of inherently terrible because, like, the mob mentality, like you said earlier, it's driving everybody fucking nuts.
But see, that was one thing I appreciated about this film was Michael wasn't the only monster. The people were too, because as soon as panic ensues, they all become bloodthirsty, wanting to end the terror, but they do it in the wrong way. So society is also the monster.
They're causing deaths of their own, and they're causing infighting. They're causing a lot of turmoil. And
I mean, shit, a doctor threw Karen down on the ground and set of stairs just because he wanted to get up the stairs. And she was trying to tell people going up there, no, it's not him. Slap right on the fucking ground. Like, damn, dude, you're a fucking doctor.
Meanwhile, Lori is trying to get Karen to go work with Tommy to go find Michael. Because at this point, we're at the Myers house, and Lonnie and Allison and Cameron are on their way there. And he's like, y'all need to stay in the car. If y'all hear anything, honk the horn. Bullshit. They hear gunshots and they go inside. And they start finding the entire massacre. And one particularly sad yet kind of humorous, like again, dark sense of humor. The kind of humorous spot. They show a picture of Big and Little John together as one of their songs are playing on the record player. Allison walks into one of the bedrooms or one of the office rooms, and they're dead. Their corpses are literally posed exactly how they're posed in the picture. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that good old Michael, he's at it again. His little Picasso.
He has a little bit of art in him. He likes to create pieces to exemplify how he feels.
He's like, I call this one, go fuck yourself.
Meanwhile, Cameron sees his dad literally killed in the attic.
Just shoved up in that motherfucker.
Like, it's like Michael slammed his face in the attic door so hard that he fucking just died.
He's like, it won't shut.
I wonder why.
I'm trying to hide this Christmas present.
But lo and behold, here's Mike chasing down fucking Cameron.
Oh my God. Like the way he just comes out and just grabs him, it just shanks him a couple times. Dude, that right there, like he throws him on the ground and then Allison comes out and shoots him or she stabs him and he throws her down oh my God, he throws her down the fucking stairs and she breaks her fucking leg.
Yeah, her left leg just snaps.
At the knee. God damn. And this might be, I keep saying, oh, this kill was brutal. This was painful to watch. Like, Michael just fucks Cameron up 9 ways a Sunday, throws his head through the banister, like handrail, and just grabs him from over the rails, and he's just smashing him up, down, left, right, and any way he can. He is breaking his neck, snapping his larynx, and just shoving his face down on the floorboard, and you can just hear Allison muster up the adrenaline to stand, and she's like, come get me, motherfucker.
He literally did Cameron like the Contra code.
Yeah, he fucking did. He fucking goes downstairs, and again, this just shows how smart Michael Myers is. Like, people don't give him enough credit for this bullshit. She's like, come get me, motherfucker, and she's waiting at the bottom of the stairs, and he walks down. Well, Cameron's head is just like kind of hanging, so Michael stops where he's at, and he looks at Allison, and he just looks over, and he grabs Cameron's head and like just breaks it and turns it in a 180, just ending him. Well, he goes downstairs, and he's about to like kill Allison with the knife that she's got, and she's just like, do it. And like, she looks like she's threatening him, but then she just looks behind him and she's like, do it. Well, here comes Karen with a fucking pitchfork.
Pitching the fit.
Right in his back. And then she takes his mask.
Yep, and throws it outside. It's like, you want it? Come and get it. But there's a reason behind it. So he walks outside, grabs his mask, or tries to at least, and he is ambushed. I want to say it's like 10 people at least. They all surround him. And they're like, it's time. It's time to end evil tonight, Mike. Because you have Tommy and you have Karen and a couple other people I don't know. It's some random Haddonfield people. And it's time to throw down.
Yeah, Brackett's there because he's like, it's Halloween, Michael. And everybody's entitled to one good scare. And so he gets shot like 6 times. He gets stabbed. He gets beaten with a fucking baseball bat, 2x4. He's getting sliced and punched and kicked and fucking just beat the fuck down.
I think there was a crowbar involved.
I'm pretty sure there was a butt plug somewhere. In fact, I'm positive there was a butt plug somewhere right up his ass.
But yeah, Tommy tells Karen, we got this, go tend to Allison. Well, you see Michael's, like you called him, his Ninja Turtle hand.
Yeah, because he only got 3 fingers on that bitch.
Reaching for his little knife. So Karen just grabs it and drives it in the back of his fucking back. And that was the key to the anger right there. I'm going to tell you right now. Because Karen walks away and Mike just 180s.
Yeah. If she wouldn't have done that, Sheriff Brackett would probably still be alive, because what happened is he was going to put the fucking final bullet in the back of his head. And he uses that momentum. Mike just reaches in his back, grabs the knife, and just turns around and just kills him right there, slits his throat, and then goes on one of the biggest murder, just in one setting murder fucking sprees ever.
Like, he slices hands, wrists. He slices one dude's fucking Achilles tendon. He stabs people in the neck, and he slits their throat. I mean, he goes off on everybody. He even freaking gets Tommy.
Yeah, he stabs him in the heart, and then like you said, he Gallaghered his ass with his own baseball bat, or with that baseball bat.
But we both appreciate the fact is whenever he is facing Tommy face to face, you don't see Mike's face at all. You see the black from the mask in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it 10 times more terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, he just wields old Huckleberry and just slam.
Oh, Fuckleberry. You're getting Fuckleberried.
But while all this is going on, Laurie and Hawkins are talking about this big monologue about how Mike is this entity of evil. He's not human. He's, just this 6-year-old boy trapped in a man who can just withstand everything like an animal. And he's evil incarnate and no brute force can kill him, blah, 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 blah. We get it.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing a lot of people got confused about. They're not saying that he is supernatural. The idea is that he has instilled that much fear into Haddonfield that people believe that.
Yeah.
Perception is reality. If they believe that, that's what they think. Michael, as of this film, is still just a human who is very capable of extreme feats, but not completely impossible feats. So keep that in mind. Now, while she's giving this monologue is when he's slaughtering the fuck out of everybody. Meanwhile, Karen has gone back to be with Allison at the Myers house. So she goes upstairs to his sister's room and she stares out the window because that's been referenced so many times. And in a very, very, very bold move by David Gordon Green and everybody else that had anything to do with the writing of this film, Michael just appears out of fucking thin air from behind and kills the shit out of her, unbeknownst to Laurie, who is looking out of her own hospital window as Michael is staring out of his sister's bedroom window as Karen just fucking dies on the floor.
Yep.
And that's where the film ends, on a cliffhanger, perfectly on a cliffhanger to set up the Halloween Ends sequel, which is coming out in a year from now. Here comes something that'll probably piss people off. This is not the worst Halloween film. A lot of people out there didn't like this film. I don't think it's the worst.
Mm-mm.
In fact, it's top 5 for me.
Yeah, I would say probably the number 5 for me, if I had to say.
Yeah.
But like I said, the only gripes I had was the fact that they kept repeating that chant over and over again about evil dies tonight. Like, again, we get it. You're out to kill Michael. That's fine. You say it a couple of times and that's it. And then also, what was his name? The convict?
Lance.
Okay. So I kind of get why he was introduced, but at the same time, it was not really, it just seemed like there was no point.
Well,
to a degree.
I think the point of him was to set up the fact that the mob shit was kind of out of control on its own.
Right. Yeah, because like I said, in the beginning, they pinned that these two convicts escaped the penitentiary, right? But it was just very little screen time of him, trying to find, a safe haven or just safety in general.
Right.
He thought this hospital was where he can go to do that.
Nope.
But what was funny was he has this shuffle that every time he runs, in front of the camera, he's just his little hands in front of like a T-Rex. There was one shot in the hospital, he ran across this window pane and the camera zoomed in on him and then it zoomed back out.
God damn.
It was so fucking funny.
Speaking of shot, I forgot to point out when Laurie takes the she takes the fucking syringe with the fucking feel good medicine.
Oh yeah.
And she stabs the shit out of her ass. And I'm not even joking when I say she just and she's fucking violently jabs herself. And I was just oh, why? So hard. So fucking hard. And the other thing I forgot to point out, when they're at the park, Lindsay fills up this fucking pillowcase or some shit with a bunch of bricks. And I was she's going full blown Step Brothers. She's I'm going to fill a fucking pillowcase with bars of soap and beat the shit out of you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought those were fucking random.
Yeah, like I said, my complaints are super minor. I mean, even with Lance, like I said, I understand why, but I think I could have gotten a little bit more, just to kind of feel some reason to feel remorseful for this person, because I get why they set him up for what happened. But overall, people, I know there's some complaints about him being so brutal in this one, constantly killing in the most drastic way, but you have to think about it. He's just trying to go home. He kills on the way over there, all subtle and sneaky and shit like that, but he's tired of being stopped. Obviously, if you have a desire to go somewhere or do something and people stop you, you're going to get pissed off real bad. And this man has been shot, he's been hit, he's been impaled, he's been stabbed, he's been whatever the fuck you want to call it, burned to a degree. And he's just like, I'm tired of this shit. Get the fuck out of my way.
Right.
And I think that's where people forget why he's doing that. They're just like, he's not Michael Myers because he's not the original. Okay, we'll go fucking watch the originals.
Well, I have something to say, and it's probably a hot take. A lot of people, like you just said, want to see the original or whatever. This movie was a lot like the original, and I will say why. I know the initial reaction is like, come the fuck on. I'm pretty sure somebody out there was like, bullshit. In the original, did we ever get any reason why he did what he did?
No.
Do we really have a full-blown legit reason why he's just here and killing with no expansion on the mythology? He's just there and doing it. A lot of people complained, and a lot of people said that what was wrong with this was like, oh, the acting was good from, some certain people, but there was like a lack of innovation. Okay, this movie literally feels like the original because it's a direct continuation of the original. He's a human. There's no fucking there's no Curse of Thorn. There's no supernatural shit. It's not fucking Rob Zombie's Halloween. Yes, I get this is a middle part of a fucking sequel trilogy, and not everybody's gonna like it. I actually heard somebody say, oh yeah, this is the Last Jedi of fucking Halloween, and I'm sitting there like, oh, so it was good? This movie is not as terrible as you think it is.
Speaking of Last Jedi, if you want to hear our take on that, there's an episode on that shit too, because we like to piss people off by saying, y'all are wrong.
Yeah, Halloween Kills, I would say definitely check it out. Absolutely check it out. It's good. Don't, go into it not expecting the fucking original. Like, go into it knowing, okay, this is a middle chapter to a film that is going to be the conclusion.
But see, that's another thing too. Like, I think I've mentioned this so many fucking times in our episodes. People complain about it being too far from the original character or from the original movies. How are you supposed to grab any more interest from the society than just the purists that like these movies? They have to find ways to drag more people into this and actually not be as close to the original films as possible. So if you don't like this and you rather the originals, fine, go watch the originals, but quit comparing it to something that is not trying to be the original. It's trying to be a unique take on the actual character, the actual series. This is a creative direction they wanted to go. Go and watch the originals if you care about that. Let us enjoy what we have.
Yeah, and I'll be the first to admit, I actually prefer this timeline to every other timeline because, again, go listen to our Halloween the Slashpoint Paradox episode where we talk about every timeline this movie franchise has had.
Yep.
That's all I have to say. Check this out in theaters or on Peacock. I actually bought Peacock specifically to stream this film.
Oh, and I know we didn't mention it. The music is still fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I will absolutely listen to anything that John Carpenter, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davies made together. Like, definitely grab the soundtrack to this one and 2018's Halloween. Fucking phenomenal music score.
I remember one of the interviews, they were talking about how they created this one guitar noise with just dragging a bow onto an electric guitar. And it made this, like, really guttural, like, dark tone.
It's the scene from 2018 when Allison finds old boy hung up by his jaw on the fucking fence post and Michael just appears out of nowhere and it's oof.
But that's the thing, like, they find creative and unique ways to make the music more and more terrifying with every watch of the new film. So this one just knocks it out of the park yet again, especially the beginning sequence where you hear the actual original score and it's just this real soft piano with like this orchestral like vocals in the background. And it's haunting, it's chilling, and it's still reminiscent of Michael Myers. So again, the Carpenters and Davies, dude, no complaints with the music.
Not at all. But yeah, the sequel is actually going to come out on October 14th next year. So you can expect to hear us talk about that when the time comes. Visit supermediabrospodcast.com to listen to past, present, and future episodes. Leave us a rating and review on Podchaser, Apple Podcast, or go to Good Pods and leave us a rating and review there. You can leave ratings and reviews on individual episodes.
So you can just say which episode sucks the most.
Yeah. 5 stars, but it sucks.
One complaint. You made the episode.
Yeah, no shit. Buy some merch from our merch store. Follow us on social media. Check out all the other shows on the OddPods Media Network. Subscribe to us on YouTube. All that shit. If you buy the new Super Media Bros Raglan, you will be impervious to knife wounds.
I guarantee it. You'll be as strong as Mike.
That's right. Come back next week for Cult Cinema Showdown when we close out Spooky Media Bros Month with Freddy vs. Jason versus Alien vs. Predator. Now that's a tag team match.
Put that in a freaking octagon.
Pretty funny. Thank you all so much for listening this week. Be sure to check us out again next week. This has been Halloween Kills, episode 195. Until next time, I've been Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
Shades on.
This podcast ends tonight!